Good morning, students. The biggest task in any industry is how to choose the material for a particular application, or how to go about choosing a material for lubricant or as an abrasive, and how to go about choice of a material. That is the biggest task of any industry or any engineer. Just compare these two, diamond and graphite. How do graphite and diamond differ from each other, though both are made of carbon only? Graphite is soft, whereas diamond is hard. One layer can slide over the other in the case of graphite, whereas diamond is highly rigid. Graphite could be used as a lubricant, diamond cannot be used as a lubricant, whereas it could be used as an abrasive because it's very hard. Why some materials are hard and some are soft? Why do materials differ in their density? Why do materials differ in their melting and boiling temperature? Why do some materials can withstand temperature whereas others cannot? Some materials are hydrophilic and some are hydrophobic. Why? So which property decides this? And what are we going to discuss in this unit? So it gives you a clue. I'm the one who connects two or more atoms. I may be strong or weak. I may be strong or weak. I decide their behavior. Who am I? So it's a chemical bonding. So in this lecture, we are going to discuss about the chemical bonding, especially intermolecular forces, principles of van der Waals and London forces, hydrogen bonding. So the learning outcome would be at the end of this lecture, students will be able to acquire basic knowledge on intermolecular forces. Compare the physical states of matter. Some have more attractive forces and some have less attractive forces. In the case of more attractive forces, the molecules will be together. In the case of where we don't have more attractive forces, they'll be kept apart. So gases, they have high kinetic energy and low attractive forces. Liquid, it has medium kinetic energy but has medium attractive forces. So intermolecular forces decides everything. The attraction between molecules, van der Waals forces, weak attractive forces between nonpolar molecules, hydrogen bonding. All these comes under intermolecular attraction. Could be van der Waals force, but that is weak attractive forces. And hydrogen bonding, it's strong attraction between special and polar molecules. So in general, intermolecular forces could be classified like hydrogen bond and van der Waals force. In turn, van der Waals force we divide as dipole-dipole force, London dispersion force. So what is van der Waals force? Actually, this is the first type of intermolecular force we'll consider, called van der Waals force after Dutch chemist Johannes van der Waals. He was living in between 1837 and 1923. And van der Waals forces are the weakest intermolecular force and consist of dipole-dipole forces and dispersion forces. They can exist between non-polar molecules in liquid and in solid phase. Because van der Waals force keep the molecules attracted to each other. They exist between carbon dioxide, methane, carbon tetrachloride, carbon tetrafluoride, diatomics and monatomics. And what is van der Waals periodicity? It increases with molecular mass, increases with the closer distance between the molecules, it decreases when particles are farther away. And this decides the physical changes, whether a molecule is converted either from liquid to gas or solid to liquid. Any changes of states will occur. So we have London dispersion force, dipole-dipole interaction and hydrogen bonding. First of all, what is London dispersion force? It is attractive forces between all molecules. Only forces between non-polar covalent molecules. See here, to helium we have no polarity, but if a dipole is introduced, this is original temporary dipole. Because of this helium also get changed. Okay, due to this positive nature, the electrons are occupying left hand side of this. So this is how charge is induced, and this we call it as London dispersion forces. So original temporary dipole and induced temporary dipole. Dispersion forces are also considered a type of van der Waals force and are the weakest of all intermolecular forces. They are often called as London forces after Fritz London. Okay, London dispersion forces are the intermolecular forces that occur between atoms and between non-polar molecules as a result of motion of electrons. London dispersion forces, see here in helium, because of this, the temperature is minus 240 degrees Celsius. And next is dipole-dipole interaction. The attractive forces between two polar molecules, we call it as dipole-dipole interaction. HCl, if you are considering, H is partial positive charge and chlorine has partial negative charge. So because of this, next HCl will arrange itself like this. Okay, the H will be focusing on chlorine and chlorine will be focusing on the next hydrogen. So this is dipole-dipole attraction between methyl alcohol and chloroform. And this will be stronger than the London dispersion force, so that boiling point will be higher. The difference between London dispersion force and dipole-dipole forces are, first of all, dipole-dipole forces are attractive forces between the molecules with permanent dipole moments. London dispersion forces are attractive forces between all kinds of molecules, including polar and non-polar ions and noble gases. This occurs when there is an unequal sharing of electrons between two atoms, and this occurs when positively charged nucleus of an atom attracts the electron cloud of another atom and have a weak bond strength. London dispersion force has higher bond strength. Permanent dipole must exist and instantaneous dipole must exist. Next is what is hydrogen bond? Between hydrogen bonded, it is formed between hydrogen bonded to oxygen, nitrogen or fluorine and nearby oxygen, nitrogen or anything with delta negative. This is stronger than dipole-dipole interaction and London dispersion force. So hydrogen bonding, stronger polar attraction like magnets. It occurs only between hydrogen of one molecule and nitrogen, oxygen, fluorine of another. Hydrogen of this water molecule is attracted towards oxygen of the next water molecule. And this bond we call it as hydrogen bond. Hydrogen is shared between two atoms of oxygen or two atoms of nitrogen or two atoms of fluorine of two different molecules can form hydrogen bonding. Why does hydrogen bonding occur? Nitrogen, oxygen and fluorine, they are small atoms with strong nuclear charges, powerful atoms. They get attracted to a very high electronegativity. Intermolecular forces dictate chemical properties. Strong intermolecular forces cause high boiling point, melting point, and slow operation of a substance. Which substance has the highest boiling point? HF, ammonia, water, and Y. Justify. The hydrogen fluoride, because the electronegativity difference will be more and they'll have high boiling point. Strongest hydrogen bonding HF forms, and therefore it needs most energy to weaken and boil. So electronegativity only decides. Okay, as we all know, electronegativity is the ability to pull the electron towards itself in a covalent bond. So as you move from left to right, the electronegativity increases. So fluorine is the most high electronegative atom. It has got the value 4. Hydrogen is 2.2. So the three types of bonds which give molecules significant hydrogen bonding is NH, OH and FH. These three bonds all have a strong permanent dipole, a hydrogen atom, an atom with a lone pair of electrons. Because of this, when you compare, the boiling point will increase. This is hydrogen with carbon, hydrogen with oxygen, hydrogen with silicon, hydrogen with sulfur. So these compounds have higher boiling point because of hydrogen bonding. So hydrogen bonding in water results in some unusual properties higher than the expected boiling point, high specific heat capacity, and ice is less dense than water. It absorbs a lot of heat energy with only a small change in temperature. This is ice and this is water in liquid state. So ice is less denser than water. So ice floats. When it is frozen, ice floats in water. In liquid, we could see there is no space, whereas here we have spaces in between. The ice structure has large empty spaces which gives a lower density than water. And hydrogen bonding in hydrogen fluoride. Fluorine is electronegative because of the lone pair of electrons. The arrangement will be like this. Every fluorine will be focused on hydrogen. Every fluorine will be facing hydrogen. Because of this, it results in higher boiling point. Why do these two molecules differ? If you compare propane and ethanol, propane has got only hydrogen, whereas ethanol has OH. This will result in hydrogen bonding, and hence the boiling point also will increase. The physical properties of alcohols are also decided by the presence of hydrogen bonding. In general, alcohol molecule can hydrogen bond to each other and to water molecules, and this explains their solubility in water and higher boiling point. This is the hydrogen bonding in acetic acid. And we have two types of hydrogen bonding, intramolecular and intermolecular. If it is taking place within a molecule, we call it as intra. If it takes place if it takes place between the molecules, see, this is intramolecular and this is intermolecular, between the molecules. And because of hydrogen bonding, the wool and nylon fibers can hydrogen bond to water. These fabrics can absorb water. Polyethylene has no hydrogen bonding, so polythene clothes would get very sweaty and sticky. And ice floats on water, making life possible. And this we could see hydrogen bonding in DNA. So the learning outcome is, from this lecture, students were able to acquire basic knowledge on intermolecular forces. Thank you.